Imagine you're splitting a dinner bill with a friend. They ordered a steak, dessert, and 3 cocktails. You had a salad and tap water. Do you A. Whip out your phone, calculate the exact cents you owe, and give them a cold, accountant like stare? B. Say, A. Let's split it evenly, even though you're basically subsidizing their food, baby? If you answered, it depends, congratulations, you're human. That's exactly what Jonathan R. Goodman's Invisible Rivals is about. We're all strategic cooperators, sometimes generous, sometimes calculating, always reading the room. Now, the book kicks off with the story of George Price, a guy who literally wrote the math for how altruism works, then went full superhero mode and gave away everything he had. Clothes, home, money, gone. He even ended up homeless alongside the people he was helping. It's inspiring, tragic, and a bit of a cautionary tale. Most of us aren't George Price. We like helping, but we also like eating. And it's not just humans. Vampire bats share blood meals when times are tough, but also fight like drunks at a kebab stand over the best sleeping spots. Chimps form political alliances, then stab their allies in the back. Figuratively, although with chimps, who knows? Even bacteria have cooperate now, war later moods. For decades, economists pushed the idea of Homo economicus, the perfectly selfish human. Turns out, we're not quite that cold. People give to charity, pay taxes, and sometimes even return shopping carts. So, a better model emerged, Homo reciprocans. We cooperate, but only when it's worth it, and usually with the expectation of some sort of return. Here's where Harvard anthropologist Richard Wrangham comes in. He says, humanity self-domesticated. Back in the day, people who couldn't control their temper, they were punished, exiled, or just quietly removed from the gene pool. Over time, that meant more chill people, fewer hotheads. It's like how we got dogs from wolves. The nice ones got scraps, the jerks got spears, and then came stone tools. Suddenly, the scrawny guy with an axe could take down the big-muscled alpha. This leveled the playing field, encouraged cooperation, and made exploitation riskier. Hunter-gatherers learned to share meat, not out of pure kindness, but because risk pooling, helping today so you get help tomorrow, kept everyone alive. But don't get too misty-eyed. We share selectively. We share with people we like. We also exploit. Anthropologist John Moore found that in most hunter-gatherer groups he studied, older men systematically took advantage of younger members and women. Cooperation and exploitation, same tent, awkward roommates. This happens because humans have 2 modes. 1, mode of production, how we get stuff from nature. 2nd mode of exploitation, how we get stuff from each other. And for the record, exploitation doesn't always mean punching someone and taking their mammoth steak. It can be more subtle. High status, for example, is a massive resource magnet. People at the top often get more than they give, and everyone else thinks it's just how things are. And that cultural learning, the same thing that makes us great at teamwork, also helps build those hierarchies. Now, here's where the invisible rivals part kicks in. We can be friendly and cooperative while also quietly competing for status, resources, or influence. And we're really good at lying when it benefits us. Not just humans. Dolphins impersonate absent friends. Ravens send fake alarm calls to scare competitors away from food. Chimps hide bananas like they're smuggling gold bars. In humans, deception gets turbocharged. Some people, like psychopaths, can fake cooperation so well, they'll drain your bank account while making you thank them for it. So how do we keep cooperation alive in a world full of freeloaders? 3 big psychological tools. First, kin selection, helping family, because they share your DNA. This is why you might risk your life for your sibling, but not for a random guy named Kevin. Second, reciprocity. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. But only if we can trust each other not to turn into jerks halfway through the deal. Third, game theory strategies like tit for tat. Start nice, mirror the other person's behavior, punish betrayal immediately, and then go back to cooperating. And now, Quick side note before we finish. If you're still watching this, it means you're part of the Cooperators Club. So maybe cooperate with me by hitting the subscribe button. I promise not to exploit you. Unless you count filling your feed with dangerously interesting videos like this one. Back to the point. Human nature isn't fixed. Cultures shape it. Some emphasize sharing and equality, others thrive on hierarchy and personal achievement. That flexibility is our strength, but also a pain in the neck when designing a society. The key, Goodman says, is using our social radar. Judge people by repeated actions, not words. Reward cooperation, make exploitation expensive. Reputation can be a stronger deterrent than punishment, as long as the system's fair. Because no, we can't make everyone an angel. But we can design systems where even the self-interested are nudged toward doing good, not because they suddenly find their inner George Price, but because cooperation is simply the smarter move. So next time you split that dinner bill, remember, you're not just deciding between calculator or let's just split it. You're playing a 200,000-year-old evolutionary game. And whether you win depends on knowing exactly when to share and when to keep your bananas hidden.